¿Qué pasó? ¿Qué onda? That is Spanish for wagwan. ¿Qué onda? ¿Qué pasó? How are you doing? How are you feeling? Mnasikiaje leo?
Kwani ulienda ku research?
Nah. I know these things, but I listen to Latin music. But
you're supposed to give us a heads up. Okay. Today we are doing the intro in Spanish.
Nataka ngani wapate off guard hivyo. Yeah? You know, it's been a minute before content drop.
See.
It's been a minute. I'm getting too comfortable. Wacha kwanza ni kama niko serious. Anyway, how are you guys feeling? It's been a while. Mnasikiaje?
Feeling good. It's race week.
Feeling like strawberries, eh?
Yeah? I'm not fruity. No offense to the fruity guys.
Alikuwa nasikiliza
kuacha ku apologize every time.
This guy unajua haizi taka watu wajue, lakini alikuwa nasikiliza Harry Styles sahi hapa. Alikuwa nasikiliza Watermelon Sugar, so I'm asking him if he's feeling peachy. And I feel some type of way.
Yes,
Moshiri, am I lying? What is on the screen right now?
Me siji.
Yeah, that's cap.
Anyway, first things first, we address the Catalonia situation. Introductions tulisahau. Guy.
By now ashatujua ma. Moshiri hapa.
Definitely the listeners, it's your boy Ace, Troubleman himself, joined here by
the less troublesome Dan.
Definitely. And my other,
I think I'll start adding AKAs to my name.
Sindo, you're the statman. The man with the stats.
Stats guy aka Moshiri. I'll need
No, it's Moshiri aka the stats guy.
Oh, yeah. I like that.
The statman ama
no, the stats guy then aka Moshiri.
Yes.
No, because he's by default is the stat guy.
Yeah, he is. But now you see we are flipping it from starting with Moshiri aka to the stat.
I'll come with a more, every episode itakuwa na aka yake.
Tutakuwa tukitafuta aka yako.
Yes.
So Spain, the Spanish situation, the Spanish Inquisition,
Barcelona.
the Spanish whatever. Race weekend in Spain was one we did not expect. Why I'm saying that? Niju
Lekelea bet.
Cult bana walipata Kenya walikuwa nataka. The cult guys are hyped beyond belief. Wako in a point of ile furaha fulani yenye hata huwezi explain itango nini.
Cult ni akina nani? Hebu provide more context.
Context for the listeners and the guys who are watching. Cult guys ni watu wa Mercedes.
No, Hamilton fans.
Oh yeah. You have to be
actually
specific.
Ni
Hamilton
fans.
Guys.
Yeah, watu wa Mercedes ni abroad thing. Watu wa cult ni watu wa Lewis Hamilton. Na venye Lewis Hamilton aliperform, imetokea vibaya. Imetokea vibaya.
Think it.
Nah, but for real though, a few episodes ago you actually talked about Shakira kuleta hips kwa gari. Na hips zikaletwa W14B. W14B.
Yeah.
So W14B is the name of the car. Tumeacha kuita L14 because it actually delivered results. But quickly into the race review. What did you see that was out of the ordinary for you guys?
For me it was Ferrari. So they introduced a really huge update at Barcelona, or the Spanish GP. And they were hoping it would sort out the tire deg issue and the car being unpredictable. So they brought some changes to major bodywork changes. New side pods. They now look like Red Bull. I kind of miss the old Ferrari. They also brought in a new floor, right?
Yeah.
But come quali and come race day on Sunday, I think it was the same situation with the Ferrari. So to me, that was the most unexpected thing that happened that entire race week, because it was a huge update, and I don't think it sorted anything that Ferrari was suffering from before.
Do you think it's cause for worry?
Oh yeah, of course, yeah. Why not?
Do you think it's a one-time thing, ama do you think it's something like Ferrari watarudi kwa garage waanze kujiuliza maswali hawezi jibu?
Well, of course, they have to go back to the drawing board and ask why the drivers still have the same sentiments. Tired egg, the car being unpredictable. But in this day and era where we are looking at the budget cap, I think they've pumped in a lot of development time and a huge chunk of their budget into this huge update at Barcelona. I don't know if they have any other huge update in the works, but usually people introduce huge things at Barcelona. Because also remember, previously they used to do testing, Barcelona and at Bahrain. So if there's a place where you can actually compare your car or the baseline of your car before the championship starts, probably at the same place, it would be at the same circuit, it would be a good place to compare where were we before the championship started and where we are at the moment with this huge update change. Pace-wise, I didn't see any difference, but seems like they still had the same issues going on. So it will be interesting just to see how Ferrari develops towards the end of the year to see if they'll really sort out their issues. Because if they don't, then they're getting into next year with the 2022 and the 2023 problems, which is not good.
That's an interesting take. And Mushiri, from what you said, do you also think this cause for worry is something Ferrari should actually be taking seriously? Ama, do you think it's something that it was a bad day in the office, it was a weekend to forget, and they'll come swinging come the next race?
Okay, first of all, I consider this race is the most important race so far, because like teams have chosen which direction to go, and we have seen what they can do. But you have to remember that
Barcelona, that is.
Yes, Barcelona. You have to remember that regarding the Ferrari issue about the tire deg, it's a high traction track, but the only hope that remains for now is the new tires that will be introduced in Spain. I mean, in Silverstone.
Yeah.
So if those tires are going to last, maybe Ferrari can keep the pace. But as now, I don't know what's up. But I want to touch on the Mercedes. Those guys, I can't say we are really sure whether they are back. It's we are yet to see, because last year they also did well in Spain.
Oh, so yeah.
We have to wait. So in Canada, the coming race is the one that is going to tell us the truth. And also in Canada, it's more of a break turn. There are no high-speed corners as such. So and it's a low degrading circuit. So maybe Ferrari they might not be finished higher than they have finished before, considering like maybe if they all start where they qualified. But the race pace might not be as big, because for them they suffer where there's like high speed corners and everything. But if it's a straight line, you brake, you turn, you drive, then you turn, they might do well. So I can't really count them out yet, but I'm not comparing them with Red Bull. Maybe something will happen, especially after Silverstone.
This going into this weekend, at the time of this recording, this race week is the Canadian GP race week. Yeah, going into Canada, it means Ferrari will be going into their third race with some of the updates that were introduced. Yeah, because there were updates introduced in Monaco, they raced with some updates in Monaco, they raced with updates in Barcelona, and now they are going into Canada with the updates. Yeah. I asked both of you the opening question with, is it cause for worry for the guys at Ferrari, ama the head offices at Ferrari na vitu kama hizo? Because instead of improving, they have actually declined in those three races, from Monaco to Barcelona, and going into Canada, they can actually decline.
Decline position-wise, or the car is just worse?
My declination, by saying declining, it's actually kind of touching on everything, because not position-wise, not only position-wise, but also the fact that the other teams are actually improving and they're stagnating. So that could be counted as a decline. The teams are improving because they're not getting the points they're supposed to be getting.
So during the practice, Sainz started with the upgrades Charles didn't have.
Yeah.
The main difference was the top speed.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's anything to do with the floor or it's the DRS, but in practice too, they changed. And Charles said the upgrades are working fine, but there's something else, which they're not saying. There's something else, but the upgrade that was brought, it is working as it's supposed to.
Yeah.
But there's something else.
It's Binotto.
Speaking of variables,
Binotto left something. An Easter egg.
They can't find it.
Do either of you have Barcelona Easter eggs? Do you have anything you remember from Barcelona when you hear Barcelona?
Barcelona.
From this race?
No, not only from this race. From whatever you watched or off the Barcelona GP.
Yeah.
Context to the listeners and the viewers. The Easter egg is a new thing we're introducing to the show, whereby we give you nuggets of what has happened so that, at your own free time, you can go look it up and get interested and more invested in the sport, yeah?
Yeah, so for me it was seeing Alonso assuring Lance that, hey, I won't attack you. You're okay? I know you're ahead. I think Lance was it P5 or something somewhere there?
Yeah.
Alonso is like, hey, I won't attack you. You just keep up your pace. I'm just trying to protect myself from the guys behind in case it rains.
Did you see the interview of Lance when he was asked about it?
Sassy Lance. Yeah.
What did he say? Was
He
he asked about the Alonso thing?
Yeah, he was asked whether did he expect to be told to move away, to move for Alonso to pass or something like that. And then he said, I don't know, he was busy driving, but if you want to know the answer, he said, Alonso is over there, you can ask him.
Is it the same interview where Lance was so chill and, being, Lance being Lance?
Yeah,
and,
actually.
he was just shrugging off some questions. He was like, he's just shrugging off some questions.
It was like in those pens. I don't know what to call them.
Sometimes those reporters can be really cunning with the questions.
Yeah.
So you have to. It's like chess. You see 3 moves ahead.
Easter egg moment. Lewis Hamilton. Remember when they were at a pre-conference, Barcelona. Was it 2019 or 18? Lewis, Seb was there. Seb was still driving for Ferrari at the time, and with Daniel Ricciardo on the other part. So a reporter asked Lewis, because Lewis was caught on camera. The mics caught him calling Max a dickhead. That would be censored out. So, and the reporter was like, yeah, we heard you say this. What does it mean? And Seb intervened and he was like, no, listen, you guys take things out of context. You blow things up. Formula 1 is a sport like any other sport. And sometimes emotions run high in the heat of the moment.
That's true.
So when these things happen, don't try to make a meal out of it.
But hey, journalism, as people look for the spicy stuff.
Lazima tuchachishe.
To give them an edge.
Na tujagusa mambo ya Hamilton na Shakira.
But
huko atuingie bwana. Mimi sigangi kwa bedroom za watu.
Wewe sasa.
Journalists have to do it to earn their bread, but sometimes they there's a line they cross. But I would not put any restrictions on journalists. It's for the drivers to know how to handle them.
Yep.
It gives us their perspective and their character, the drivers.
Well, aside from that, enough of Barcelona. Let's go straight to the big one, the one in front of us, the one directly in front of us, the Canadian GP.
Okay, can we? Okay, there's
a start. You want to give us a start?
No, are we like done? We'll come back.
No, we're done.
The driver of the day and
we didn't give the driver of the day. Yeah, we should probably do driver of the day. Yeah. So Barcelona. Hizi ni zile part mta edit out, sindio?
Yeah.
Barcelona. Driver of the day for you, Barcelona. I'm saving the best for last. Saving the best question for last.
My driver of the day was George Russell.
George.
Wait, what happened?
Yeah.
What happened? Max had the perfect.
No, hey. remember I told you I'm tired of saying Max. Hey, let's give other people flowers.
Sisi ndio
Practice
tulikwambia
one,
uache kusema
practice
Max,
two,
Max.
practice three. Paul
It's
led every lap.
Wewe pia wewe. It's becoming
it's okay.
monotonous. It's becoming, you know.
But Max has never. This is the most dominant race Max has ever had this year.
From day zero. That's on Friday.
So far.
From
So far.
FP1.
No.
Yeah,
So
from
far.
Yeah.
This
So far.
year, I'm saying this year.
Yeah.
He has won races, but this is the most dominant he has ever been in a weekend.
Remember what your team principal Horner said when asked about Mercedes being back?
No, what did he say?
He said they're still 25 seconds behind.
Silvaros.net. I don't remember Christian.
No. He did say that. Yeah, he said those guys are still 25 seconds behind. So was it 25 or 35? Not even really sure.
20
That guy is so dominant.
Yeah, so the reason why George is my driver of the day is George messed up during quali, and he got kicked out in Q2, right? And I think he also struggled kidogo. I can't remember which free practice, but it was interesting to see George quali and start the race at P11. No, P12. Sorry,
P12, yeah.
And seeing him work all the way to get the podium. To get into
Yeah.
the podium P3. I think that was commendable, and that was on merit. There were no safety cars.
Don't you
There
there were
was
no
that
red
first corner
flags.
incident.
Don't you think that's
Okay, the first corner incident, that was controversial. Not immediately. I was watching it. I was like, "Where FIA? George needs to give a couple of places back."
But he just
No.
it was like the time he went for the runoff.
Yeah.
He was just an inch ahead,
I-
so he was allowed
yes.
to maintain the
and I honestly think that was premeditated.
even me. I think George knew
So,
it.
wait.
Even
Are you-
when,
are you
you know
trying
when
to
the
say
race
He
the
did
race
it
started?
intentionally.
Yes.
George actually calculated his moves and he was like, I can
that's-
get away
yeah.
with this.
Yeah, that's George,
Yeah.
Vanna. That's George.
I mean, it's part of racing.
If you maybe one day George we'll get to ask him.
Oh,
that
blimey.
question, But I can tell you the race prep they do the night before the race. Very sure.
He thought about it.
Toto was like, "George, I need you to go to the runoff on turn 1." Yes, Toto.
You need the runoff has
You guys-
just been created.
You might take it with a pinch of salt, but personally, I think it's a testament to strategy and the development going on behind the scenes at Mercedes.
Okay, think of it. The runoff. It was a new runoff area created. It wasn't there before.
Yeah.
So anything new that is introduced. Even me, when I saw the runoff, I was like, Alonso. Alonso has
We are,
had
used,
those.
we are used to Alonso doing these things.
Yeah, Alonso doing this thing, and then
Yeah.
I saw
The
Russell
dark
doing.
arts.
I know,
Master
like,
of
okay,
the villain
okay.
of the story.
Some here master, but okay, I agree. Even George was very comedic in the team radio.
Yeah.
Like the helmet thing.
Yeah,
in
it's
the rain.
raining.
Oh, it's raining. Yeah. That was an interesting bite.
Yeah.
And also the when he overtook, I don't know what he was told, but he felt like the overtake that he did wasn't appreciated that enough. Maybe when you go to check the team radio,
I think it was. I think when he overtook Carlos. I think it was he overtook Carlos, and then his race engineer was like, "No, yeah, the race engineer was solid. That is solid."
Yeah.
And George was like, "Just solid."
yes,
That was dope, man. Give me another compliment.
yeah, that is exactly what was.
Yeah.
That is the only thing you found to say after that overtake.
Yeah.
It was actually a good overtake.
Yeah, it was a decent one.
Yeah, so the good things that happened to George on the Sunday's race.
Okay.
He didn't fuck up. He won. He got into the podium on merit.
Yeah.
0 safety cars, 0 red flags. As in, he overtook people.
Making it race numero 2 without all this fracas. This is the second race this season that imekuwa clean. That has gone. There was which other race was it?
Which was it?
Baku, was it?
It's
It's
like
just
2 races, not the previous.
Yeah,
the other one.
it was 2 races ago. I think it's Baku.
Yeah,
0
Baku.
safety cars, and we talked about the whole action thing that Mushiri had going on.
So for me, okay, the reason why I say this is the most interesting, the best, the more important race of the season so far is because, first of all, that if you are fast in Barcelona, you'll be like 80% fast in all the circuits. Yeah.
You'll be fast in 80% of the circuits.
Yeah.
You're giving the cult people a lot of hope.
No,
It is
but
the truth.
I mean,
it is the truth.
Barcelona
but they're still
is
20 something seconds behind.
is the perfect test to test some of the things.
And having a clean race, like you're not going to say, oh, because of this. Now you can see where Ferrari is, where Aston Martin is. Although Alonso said that will be the last race without
Yeah.
a podium.
I was about to coin it. I
And
was about to coin it.
even before the race, Alonso said that they are going to struggle
Yeah.
at Barcelona, where places where there are medium to high speed corners,
It's
and expect them to be back.
it's good to see Alonso with his confidence back. Yeah, we haven't seen this side of Alonso in a minute.
Smelling flowers.
Good seeing Alonso in a challenging car, because whenever
I think
he's
it's challenging.
the Aston Martin is definitely a challenging car.
By challenging, do you mean challenging driving it or taming it, or challenging?
Challenging for places and positions and podiums and
Okay,
you know.
cool.
Maybe
Yeah.
Mercedes. You mean Mercedes? Challenging Mercedes.
They're not challenging Mercedes. Mercedes are challenging Aston Martin. How the year began, Aston Martin were actually ahead of Mercedes, yeah?
Yeah.
So Mercedes are currently catching up and about to overtake them, yeah? So it's Mercedes challenging Aston Martin.
Haven't they overtaken them by now?
Constructors, yes, they have.
Yeah, they have.
Yeah.
So it's Mercedes who challenged Aston Martin. So right now the fight is between them two for second place.
Where's Ferrari in all of this?
Yeah.
Oh, and also to Alonso was also watching the screen again.
Oh, really?
Yeah, when he asked for the finishing order, he said, "That's not what I saw."
Yeah.
And the engineer had to like check again,
Yeah.
and then he said, "That's more like it now."
Nah, yeah.
This, as in, just think about it, as in how much bandwidth.
Alonso's attention to detail is crazy.
Me, I think
Because that's not the first thing. That's not the only thing that happens with Alonso. Like you just talked about how he predicted they'll have a terrible race weekend, and it happened. And him saying it won't happen again. It's only a one-time thing. And you remember when Alonso said he will be challenging for podiums at the beginning of the year, and guys were like, no, it's a one-time thing. Because remember, again, Easter egg. Sijui mbona zita Easter egg na tuko Easter season. But Akanagget, this is the first race Alonso has finished outside the top 5
yeah.
this year.
Yeah.
And at the beginning of the year when he did get a podium finish at the first race. And
He was always getting 15 points. I think the previous race, other than the Barcelona one, he got more than 15 points.
yeah.
Now he got less than 15.
He did talk about him being there regularly. Remember when he was interviewed at the podium? He was like, yeah, you'll be seeing more of us here. You'll be seeing an Aston Martin at the podium regularly. We'll be challenging for these type trophies. And guys were like, no, it's a fluke thing, you know, ABCD.
It's a one-time
ABCD,
thing.
He won't be there consistently. And he's been consistently getting the results for Aston Martin.
Yeah.
We talked about him carrying the team on his back.
Yep.
And him issuing threats is something we know Alonso does. Like the old school guys wanajuanga, this is the Alonso we know, like next time we'll get them. So now the hot question, no, you said your driver of the day is?
George. Mr.
George. So before I continue, who's your driver of the day?
Okay, so for me, it's tied.
Max
and
Come on.
Guangzhou. No, he said, what is his name? I
Like,
keep
bro.
saying is
Just call him Joe.
Just say Joe.
Joe.
Joe Guan Yu.
Guan Yu.
Joe. Just call him Joe.
That guy had a fantastic race. Racing
Yeah, he
with
did.
Yuki.
He did.
Yeah, like the race pace of Yuki and just call him Joe.
Yeah, just go.
Yeah.
Yuki.
No, it's actually Joe.
It was like neck and neck.
Yeah.
It's only that Yuki he got a penalty,
Yeah, he did.
but they were fighting all through.
Yeah.
Like
I was seeing some.
Joe had a
I feel
fantastic
bad for my
race.
boy Yuki, man.
I was seeing some memes, some inappropriate memes. You know, China and Japan have some history with whatever they had going on.
I missed that.
Yeah, they're just doing some rounds on Reddit and Twitter, yeah. And they were talking about how, you know, Japan and the Cajol I don't know the political state of Japan and China, but I do know there was some colonization somewhere in between there. So when the race was happening, they were talking about that incident, the war between Japan and China and something like that.
By the
But,
way, what do you think about the penalty of Yuki? Deserved? Too harsh?
I don't think it's too harsh. Seeing the things I've seen this year, I don't think it's too harsh. Don't forget we were talking about Kapoor Singh and please. Don't forget. We've
Just
seen
wait.
harsher.
Tell them to wait for me.
We've seen harsher ones. So I will not be baited into feeling sorry for
Trigger alert.
I will not be baited into feeling sorry for Yuki, man. Come on.
I think it was too harsh.
Come on. You guys weren't having this sympathy for science.
He doesn't. He didn't deserve. But finish.
Yeah, I think it was too harsh. Joe wasn't far enough into the corner to demand the corner.
Yes.
And and Yuki was on the racing line. So Joe screaming, "Hey, push me off!" Hey. I think it was out of desperation. But to be honest, Joe really wanted the place, and I understood he could play that card, and he played that card. But FIA, I think they gave Yuki a harsh penalty. And I'm not sure if Alpha Tauri decided to appeal, but that wasn't right. Yuki was on the racing line and Joe didn't demand.
Remembering
Yuki
Alpha
was
Tauri
ahead.
are actually struggling for points this season. They're not getting them regularly. So yeah, that's one to watch out for. Did they appeal or not?
They didn't.
I think it's too late. Too late by now.
Yeah,
You want to
probably.
appeal.
They didn't appeal.
Probably.
So, Bushiri, why?
From the onboard, okay, the way whoever owns the corner is whoever has his nose ahead.
At the apex.
Yes. So there's no point where Joe was ahead in that corner. And what Yuki did is what I think all drivers do. Is whereby if you own the corner, you maintain the racing line.
Yeah.
If somebody wants to come to crash to you or go off, it's their business.
Yeah.
It's giving
It's like when you're driving.
your
If there's no one, by no one I mean a car, in front or in your side mirrors, it should not concern you. You just drive. So that is what I would say. He had the racing line. If Joe was like ahead, like you could see him like there, now you should give him space. But other than that, you should race as if Joe isn't there.
it's giving Max and Lewis vibes in 21, isn't it?
And it's also giving me
Yes.
George and Lewis vibes during Q1. During quali.
And also, who else? George and was it Nico? Not Nico. Bottas. Before George got the Mercedes seat.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's also
Oh
giving
yeah,
us vibes.
at Imola.
Yeah.
But
that was
George
a
there
huge
was
crash.
But
George
gladly,
George,
no,
George was on the wrong,
fortunately,
if you ask me.
fortunately, there wasn't a crash at Barcelona.
It was
Nothing
a-
bad happened.
it was
Yeah.
We never want to see a crash. It's really dangerous,
Yeah.
and it's not good for the sport.
But you want to see crashes.
No, I just said they're part of entertainment. I didn't say I want to see crashes. Come on, bro. How do you air me out like
do
that?
Do you watch to be entertained or to be
No,
bored?
how do you air me out like that, bro? Come on, bro. You want me, but no. Listen, look, I care about their lives.
They are safe.
Yeah.
They are safe.
Nah, I do care, man. Come on,
There've been a lot of crashes and they come out okay.
bro. You just airing me out like that. Okay, Nisawa. So your driver of the day, Max and
Joe.
Joe.
Yeah.
Joe Guan Yu.
What about you?
Yeah, my driver of the day has to be Lewis. Has to be Lewis.
Are you jumping ship?
Championship, bro.
Is that why
I-
today you're wearing black?
I'm a yeah, probably, but I'm not jumping ship. I just have the admiration for what happened behind the scenes, getting to this point. Yeah, I don't want to say it's all Lewis's work, but Lewis has been pro. Lewis has been, I don't want to say this, but quote unquote steering the Mercedes ship of late. Lewis has been taking things on with the reins and doing what champions do best. Control the team. And it's giving, Schumacher at Ferrari vibes. When Schumacher first joined Ferrari and the team was struggling and, take the team by the reins and now you control things. And seeing this side of Lewis, kudos to him. Guys always talk about Lewis, not being, being lucky because he's always in a fast car. He's always been in a fast car. We've seen him now in a slow car. We've seen what he does, pushing the team and everything, and trying to get everyone on board on his side. Remember when there was talk about guys, Lewis, the team not listening to Lewis and things like that, and there was also talk that the team are finally going Lewis's way.
Yeah.
Remember when we talked about that? So seeing the fruition of his efforts, or the things he wanted for the team come to fruition, is something I have to give credit for. As you know, I don't really give drive of the day just to give. I try to look at the behind the scenes part of it. So for me, I'll give it to Lewis. Strong contention for George. But yeah, I'll give it to Lewis.
Are you still dreaming of Lewis joining Ferrari?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I won't lie, it's looking unlikely now.
Because Ferrari needs someone to steer that ship.
Yeah, definitely.
No, hey, we have to be specific. Ferrari, the Scuderia Ferrari team in Formula 1.
Oh, yeah.
Ferrari, other places at Le Mans,
We did have Le
they're killing it.
Mans 24 hours, the hypercar. And,
Charles was there.
yeah, and...
Also Fred. I think I saw Fred,
Fred was
on,
there.
Fred was
on
there.
Friday.
Yeah, he did pass by. And, but... That
Italian
tutagusa hapo Giovinazzi. There was like a tweet I saw at Charles is the most successful Alfa Romeo driver. Then they put the Alfa Romeo drivers who've done big things since leaving Alfa Romeo, and Charles still hasn't done anything big. They talked about Giovinazzi winning. They talked about what's his name? Kimi.
Is there anything on Kimi?
NASCAR, I think.
But has he
No,
he
not
hasn't
Kimi. There's Magnussen. Not K-Mag. The Swedish guy. There was a Swedish guy at Alpha. He did win a Piston Cup or something. Not Piston Cup. The NASCAR something. He did win something.
Oh, yeah.
Marcus Ericsson?
Marcus Ericsson. Yeah. Is it Swedish?
Yeah, I think he's
Swedish, yeah?
The either Sweden or Norway, one of them. I don't know which.
No, it's Swedish, yeah. I think it's Swedish. On the flag on the jumpsuit. I think it's Swedish. So they talked about him, and there's another driver they talked about from Alfa Romeo who has done bigger things. Was Bottas at Alfa?
It was Kimi winning a championship.
Oh, yeah. So away from that, that's my driver of the day.
Let me add on the Lewis Hamilton part. If you ask me the driver of the season, I would say Lewis because...
We aren't even halfway.
Away. What do you mean?
I want to give credit
even
where
halfway.
it's due.
Come
Okay?
on, bro.
Give it to Max.
Bro,
Max.
wewe tutakufukuza na huyu Max wako.
Hey. See, today I'm singing a different tune.
I always give credit where it's due. Okay?
Yeah.
Me, I'm number one, I'm a fan of the sport, first of all.
Facts.
Before anything else.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, Lewis has been able to keep his nose clean.
What do you mean? Does he do coke?
How do you know?
Maybe with Shakira, I don't know. Okay, he has been
You
able
love bedroom matters. Hey, me, I'm not part of this. Sorry, Mushiri.
tutaenda ndani na yeye.
No. What do you mean mutaenda na yeye?
Okay. What I'm trying to say is, like, if Lewis has been able to get the maximum points possible in every race. Like, akuna this or he could have gotten this or no. Gotten maximum points in every race. Like, if you see where he finishes, you see it was like impossible for him to finish ahead of that. Yeah. Then, like, the incident with Lando in Barcelona, I'm sure he said, like...
Interjection. I'm sorry. Interjection. We haven't talked about Lando's misfortunes, but just go on.
He said he will learn from it. He was also there. So, Lewis, we have basically showing his experience in the sport.
Yeah.
How, like, every point matters. It's always good to get the maximum points.
Proving Alonso wrong while at it. Remember when Alonso said Lewis doesn't know how to drive from the back, only knows how to drive at the front?
Well, I think we're yet to see Hamilton fight from the back.
He's been fighting from the back the whole year.
No, he hasn't.
Not the back, but middle of the grid.
Yeah. Mid-back.
Yeah, mid-back.
So,
yeah, that's interesting. Team of the day?
Wow.
Yeah.
Today I'm singing different tunes.
The trap has been set.
Has to be Mercedes too.
Yeah. I can't think of any other team apart from...
And it's all Checo's fault.
No, I want to see when you edit this part, you just zoom into his face or something like that. I want to hear him say it. Team of the day. Team of the day.
Pass.
Can we go to blaming Checo? Let's go and blame Checo for Checo is making us say Mercedes.
Hey, wait, don't...
It's
I know a
Checo's
guy.
fault.
I know a guy.
Trigger alert.
We
Don't get me on Checo.
we had a space
I'll
on
start a
Thursday.
rant here.
I know a guy. Shout out to Ian, by the way. Bro was taking mad digs at Checo. He wanted to hear none of what anybody was trying to say about Checo. I was trying to be, cordial, defend
but
Checo.
seriously, in
But,
the first stint, what was he doing? In the first stint,
No,
that's
come on.
when
I mean,
Russell
look.
and Hamilton overtook
Hasn't-
the two Kina Alonso na naitaje, his teammate
Lance.
Lance. And in that first stint, manze, Nani didn't do anything. Checo woke up in the second and the final stint.
Well, that's absolutely true. And it's that's just Checo. Checo is someone who comes to life after I think a third of the race has been done. That is when now Checo.
Won't you say when you need him most?
No, we need Checo from day zero, just like Max. We need him not performing at Max's level, but we need Checo swinging from Friday, from free practice. We need him swinging. all the way till Sunday.
Russell finishing ahead of Checo. Do you know that is the first time you're seeing a Mercedes overtake a Red Bull on track?
You're threatened by it.
Huh?
Are you threatened by it?
For me, no, because that's Checo. If it was Max, I'd be like,
Yeah, it's an underperformance.
Yeah.
I'm just asking.
It's an underperformance. It should not happen.
I'm used to seeing this happen for our team. I'm used to seeing
Overtakes on track.
overtakes on track. So I'm just asking, out of curiosity, how does it feel? Redfield fans, how does it feel?
It doesn't
I have
feel-
to ask you guys.
Ramen can speak about it.
Yeah?
well, that's Checo. I'm disappointed, but I'm not in shock.
Okay.
As in, that's Checo.
You'll brush it off. You'll dismiss it as a driver
As in
mediocrity.
I wouldn't call him mediocrity because Checo deserves the number 2 seat at Red Bull. But if you're given that number 2 seat, you have to bring it every weekend, every race weekend.
Okay.
You can't sleep on the job on the best car on the grid. You can't afford to do that.
Reeling in the conversation we had on our previous space, yeah? Do you think Checo deserves that number 2 seat, or would you give it to somebody else?
In hindsight, yeah, Checo deserves that seat because he's, and I don't feel right saying this. He's not ambitious enough to be the top dog in the team. But I do believe he's doing his best. Unfortunately, his best
Isn't good
can't
enough.
match up to Max's ability. And with that shortcoming, that makes him perfect for the number 2 seat at Red Bull. at the moment.
You're forgetting this problem started in Quali. You went to the gravel.
Yep.
If you didn't go there, you'd have started at a better position. Because as I said on the space, the biggest problem of Checo is Quali. He is always starting out of position.
Yep. Remember Australia? He did the same thing.
Yeah. If when he starts, maybe even in P3, he'll get good results.
Yeah.
But if he starts GP15,
Yeah.
Do you think if Max qualied P12, do you think Max would be in the podium or even finish the race at Barcelona?
honestly, I think maybe he will not have taken. Okay. Now you're introducing a very tough question because you see, okay, I'm going to explain the race the way I saw it.
Yeah.
Max could have finished on hards.
Yeah.
That's what because he was still doing very well. But if you ask me, the reason why he pitted is it's because the Mercedes pitted, and if there's a safety car, You don't want to be behind.
Yep.
You don't want to be on hard tires and somebody behind
Yep.
you is on soft. You remember Abu Dhabi 21?
Trigger alert.
Not only Abu Dhabi, not only Abu Dhabi 21. Remember Silverstone last year when they left Leclerc.
Oh yeah.
When they left Leclerc, they pitted Sainz and they left Leclerc out to rot. And yeah.
Inauma.
So if and he started on mediums and then switched to hards. Now if he started P12 and stuck to that race like a one stopper,
Yeah.
he could have finished on podium. That's what I think.
Well,
What
I
do you
mean,
think?
when the specific question, Ama, the whole Max, the Checo thing. we were
Checo
talking
and
about.
Max, if they were interchanged in the starting grid.
Look, listen. I think we've seen such a situation. Which race was it when Max started? I know they're different situations,
So it was
but
Jeddah, I think.
yeah, he came up and won the race.
No, he
He
didn't.
came second.
No,
he came
yeah,
second.
he came second. But you see the marginal.
Yeah.
But
gap.
it was Jeddah. That track is a bit different.
Yeah,
it will
that's what I've
favor-
said. That's what I've said. Like these are different situations, but it's not like we've not seen it happen. It's not like we've not seen Max start at the back of the grid or anything, or even top drivers in a top car. We've seen it happen with Max, Lewis, even Charles to some degree, Alonso. We've seen them fight from the back, come to podium places or get decent points.
Yeah.
But the narrative here is Checo hasn't been doing it. That's what we're talking about here, yeah?
Yeah.
And if the roles were reversed, yeah, I definitely do think Max will have done better.
Podium.
Slightly off, but maybe, yeah, if the conditions are right. By conditions, I mean if anybody makes a silly mistake somewhere, somebody slips up. Because drivers tend to make a mistake when Max is hot on their heels. Drivers tend to make that mistake. Because when it's Checo, drivers fancy the chances of defense.
Yeah.
Yeah, Checo is more of a defender than an attacker.
Facts.
That's why he was called Minister for
Minister
Defense.
of Defense, yeah.
Minister of Defense. So
Looking backwards, not forward.
yeah. So like, if Checo is behind you,
Yeah.
you fancy your chances. If Max is behind you,
Yeah, you know he's going to get you.
quoting Ian again, shout out Ian. Max is the kind of driver who we either crash or you let me pass.
No, that's a lie.
Now that's what he said. I'm just quoting him.
I will not accept any Max slander here.
Okay,
No, there is some truth to
let
it,
me
though.
clarify the situation. If Max is leading the championship, he is not going to do that.
If he's leading, you're putting a variable. If he's leading
Yes,
the championship,
it makes sense. If you are leading the championship, you
Yeah.
cannot put yourself in a situation whereby you lose the most points.
Yeah.
Ama you have the most to lose.
If, in
But-
fact, it's if you basically have a faster car.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't have
So
even have
that's
to be
the
a
value.
very
okay,
good champion.
yeah, true. And I'm just taking digs at you guys because you're both Red Bull guys.
You know, that's why
Yeah,
you
I
remember
have to take digs at you guys.
Russell and Max incident.
Yeah.
Russell was the aggressor because Russell he doesn't care. He's so happy to fight Max, but Max he doesn't want to crash out because he's leading the championship. He has the first.
Have we seen Checo with all to fight for attitude? Apart from the Force India thing that got him the Red Bull seat.
Abu Dhabi 21? That's the last time I remember.
Really? Was he fighting or was he just defending for Max?
Was he playing the team game or was he fighting?
Yeah, he was playing the team game, but
was-
was he fighting for his own?
He was not fighting for his position, but he played his role perfectly.
to perfection, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah.
And in Barcelona, his role was to come P2, but
I know I know a fan base that will disagree with what you just said. I know a fan base that will disagree with that. But
Mercedes
anyway,
peeps.
yeah.
Wait. I honestly believe if Max started P12, he would have won that race.
Well, look, Barcelona is it's a good track for overtaking. We did see
after the
a
last
record
corner.
number of overtakes
See,
After the
Max,
last
for the
corner
races
was,
this
year.
was Nini. Yeah.
Max still had some pace left in that car.
Yeah, I know.
Plenty.
Yeah.
Not hundredths or we're talking about tenths, as in point something of a second.
Yeah.
And if Max was in the same position as Checo, believe me, Max would have maximized the strategy to make sure that he gets the P1.
That's-
He wouldn't have settled for P2 or P3, knowing he has a rocket ship of a car.
That's why I say if he had one stopped, that I believe the plan was to one stop until the cars behind pitted for soft. So as I said, if he started P12 and one stopped, podium definitely was on the table.
Yeah, interesting.
And to me, that's the difference between Max and Checo. As in, Max is foot, as in pedal, as in foot to the pedal 100%.
Pedal to the metal.
Yes. Hey, but there was like a game called Pedal to the Metal or something.
Yeah.
Max,
nice spotting it. Nice.
Max is the kind of guy who wouldn't settle for a P2. A P2 is not good enough.
Oh, and what do you guys think about the Max and Hamilton, the podium, like
Wait,
giggling
so
and
there was something. There was something.
they look like best friends.
Yeah, it happens, bro. Look.
Ni mafans huku nje ndo tunaumia.
And I
You're
wanted
creating
Mercedes
things.
people
You're
to know
creating
this, by the
things.
way. These
Address them.
these guys live in Monaco.
They're neighbors.
They are like, they can walk to each other, Nini. And listen, if Max was to get in trouble and he was to call somebody,
He'd call Lewis.
maybe
That's
maybe,
a hot take. That's a very
I'm
hot
saying
take.
like in Monaco,
Oh.
you are there, maybe you get picked up by a cop.
Nimeshikwa nikikojoa.
No. But now,
Who do you think is going to call?
my curiosity? I'm intrigued now. I want to know. Do you think Max would call Lewis in a situation like that?
Yeah, he's been picked up with drunken driving or he did
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
You call somebody who is closest to you.
And you know, guys usually say Lewis has a lot of connections.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you
So
think
you
Max would call
Mercedes
Lewis?
peeps. Or
Okay.
Hamilton peeps.
That's an interesting one. Okay, so I think we are all in agreement. Mercedes or team of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, naniuma lakini
Itabidi.
being objective. Yeah.
We know who to blame.
Yeah, so I guess I'll go and ask predictions for the Canadian GP.
So before we jump into the predictions,
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys have seen this going online, but Aston Martin apparently they're bringing a big update
Big update.
Yeah, I haven't heard.
at the Canadian GP.
You know, Reddit went to
You
blackout.
you didn't hear?
Reddit went to blackout. So my sources are thin.
The sources are thinning out.
So this is new to you.
Yeah, it's actually
The
news to me.
Statman has been caught.
Yeah. But Aston Martin apparently they're bringing a huge update at the Canadian GP, and it's not track specific. It's their update of the year.
Umesema walichukua those laptops wakaeka kwa ECU na wakasema update.
Tunapeleka huko.
Waka-update wanapeleka.
I'm very curious because
Alonso was like, Olingia Garage, Alonso was like, that should not be happening to me again. You know, there's like a scene in we call him Darth Vader, yeah? There's like a scene in Star Wars where Darth Vader goes and his mission operatives, our senior guys, they failed him. Then he's now, they have those Jedi things and he's choking him and he's telling him, I will not tolerate failure.
Ama it's the Stroll who's like, hey, I want those updates.
Both of
but
them.
but
Both
if
of
you
them.
remember we talked about it and I remember I said that the team that I expect to have the most improvement is Aston Martin because of the time. So if what you're saying is true, I'm really curious.
Hamutaniuzia uoga.
No, but by now you should already know that Aston will beat you guys day in day out. You should not be feeling some type of way. That's your reality, bana. Accept it.
Oh wow! You know, life comes at you first, yeah. I'll see you at the end of the season. Life comes at you first.
But
I can't believe.
I don't think the situation is going to change anytime soon.
It feels worse because he's a Red Bull fan and Red Bull are winning currently. So I have nothing to come at him with. But trust me, a time will
you can
come.
always go to Le Mans.
When 2026.
Oh, speaking of Le Mans.
We all see. Hapa tuko Formula 1.
Did you see?
Did you see what I've done? Yeah.
Have
Did
your
you see?
moment. Have
Did
your
you see?
moment.
Yes, let me bask in it. Yeah. That's how a Giovinazzi win looks.
Yeah. Did you guys watch the entire 24?
Not the entire.
Ah,
I was
what?
just after
How many hours?
Just, I don't know how many. I watched the start.
Cumulatively.
I didn't watch the finish because I was watching that tennis match.
Personally, you're the one who shared the stream. Yeah.
No, it was Mushiri.
No, you're the one who shared the stream.
The race stream, it was Mushiri.
Yeah, you're the one.
Okay, I don't usually.
Hey, na mtu wangu unatuweka unatokaji hivi on the spot. We don't share illegal streams.
No, not illegal. Paid for. This one has a
It was on
subscription.
YouTube.
This one has a
Onboard videos on YouTube.
Yeah, this one subscribes to YouTube Premium. So
Guys, okay. The one I shared is not the one I used to watch because I use another way of watching. But
you're incriminating yourself.
No, onboard
if-
YouTube.
If they want to come for me, they can come for me. Okay, but yes, I watched the beginning, and sometimes during the day when I have nothing to watch, I was switching it
Yeah, you
on.
peeping.
Yeah.
Well, personally, I had long weekend nights, so I didn't. It's only one night specifically. Saturday didn't really watch it properly.
Shakira mode.
No, I'm not. Come on, man. But the morning hours of Sunday, I did kind of tune in. Not the morning hours, the midday. I did kind of tune in to see towards the end of it. So I'd say I watched like a solid 40 minutes, 30 minutes, on and off. Like I was just like, peeping, everything's still okay. I do my own thing, peeping, everything is okay. But look, listen, it's definitely on my bucket list to watch the whole 24 hours of Le Mans.
Hey, bro.
Definitely on my bucket list.
What did you see in the race?
So I think I did 18 hours plus.
Bro, what?
Yeah.
Okay.
Who are you?
To be honest.
Let me give it to you.
Bro,
I'm a motorsport fan.
I know, but 18 hours.
Yeah, I did.
Dog,
you,
didn't sleep.
you even know it's 18 hours.
I think it was even more than 18.
Okay.
Because I was watching it on the telly and also on the iPad. And if I look at the total number of hours I spent on that app, on just for the race, not even counting quali and practice, I think I did 18 hours plus.
So this is data from your screen time.
Let me now ask a question. How come Ferrari overtook
Toyota.
when the race started? The Toyotas overtook Ferraris.
Yeah.
And I knew now they are going away. And then coming back, Ferrari is in lead. Coming back again, still in lead. Coming back, still in lead.
Yeah. so Toyota started on softs. And just like in Formula 1, you start on softs, you have a pace advantage. So from the start, the Toyotas were really quick. But the Ferraris had, I think it was medium. I think it was medium tires for Ferraris. So the Ferraris were able to extend the stint.
Yeah.
And I think where Toyota lost was during the slow zones or the yellow flags.
Yeah.
Because each time there was a yellow flag, Ferrari were actually coming into the pit, or maybe when there was a slow zone, or a place where the Ferraris could actually capitalize. They could actually go into the pits, add fuel, and go back to the race. So
strategy.
Yeah, strategy. So by the time Toyota
strategy won them the race.
Yeah. As in Ferrari won on merit.
Wow.
I'm surprised.
Yeah. Ferrari won on merit. So this is just an account of the entire race. But where shit hit the fan for Toyota was at night.
Yeah.
The leading Toyota had a crash with one LMP2 car and two GTE cars. And the Toyota car had to DNF, and that was the lead Toyota.
There were two cars, eh?
Yeah. Two Ferraris, two Toyotas. Yeah. Porsche, I think there were three from Porsche Penske Motorsport. There was one other Porsche from, I think that team, it's called Hats, whatever. 2-3 Cadillacs, as in teams decided to turn up for
Cadillac. I was surprised that Cadillac was up there.
Yeah, Cadillac actually.
And they had pace.
They had pace. Actually, since Sebring, the first race of the WC Championship, Cadillac were up there. They're actually taking the fight.
What engines are they using?
V8s.
No, the
Cadillacs.
Is it a Cadillac engine? Or?
Yeah, it's a Cadillac engine. Yeah.
Yeah.
So when the lead Toyota DNF'd, it basically meant Toyota only had one car in the race, and Ferrari had two cars. So there's something interesting that happened. There was a time where it started raining the next day, and the Toyotas stayed out. They didn't change into wet tires.
What?
Was yeah,
I saw the rain. It was a lot.
yeah, it was a lot. But you see, it was only a section. I think they said it was it? I think a 10% of the track. Where
It's
it
a,
was
it's a
where-
long track, by the
Yeah,
way.
it's one lap is 13.6 kms, 13.62 kilometers.
Yeah.
That's long.
Yeah, so there was
In-
just one section.
In context, an average F1 track is about 6-7 kilometers.
No, that's on the higher side. It's like 5 kilometers.
I'm using. I've actually. Do you know the first track that popped up in my head is the track I know best. I've used Spa. Yeah,
Spa,
Yeah, that's
Spa,
the-
Spa.
yeah.
Spa is
6-7.
the one.
I've used.
Is
I've
it
used
the
Spa.
longest?
No, is it? Yeah, I think
it
it is.
is.
Yeah, it is the longest.
I think there's a street circuit that is.
Hey, but there was one back in the day. Where was it? One. Okay, I'm just going to cook a figure here. But there was one track. I think it was. Was it 15 kms or something?
Bro, what track is that?
Back in the day. That was back in the day.
Okay,
There was one track that.
I know the whole Nürburgring was used one time,
Mhm.
and that is 20-something kilometers.
I think it's that one. There was one track which just had.
This is the
One-
one Nani Niki
Nürburgring
Lauda
has been
crashed.
used before. No, this is new. This is news to me now.
When Niki Lauda crashed, they were doing the whole Nini.
This is not in the 21st century though.
Yeah, it's Niki Lauda. It was the 70s.
Yeah.
They were using the whole 20-something. I was
How many laps did they do? 5.
15 marks.
How many?
Actually, back in the day, maybe 10. But
how many
anyway,
laps they did?
yeah. So, so Toyota didn't pit.
Mhm.
They didn't change into wets. So they were still on slicks. Ferrari decided to pit, banking that the rain might increase, and Toyota actually lost that gamble because they actually, the gap between now the Toyota and the Ferrari increased, because there was a time the Toyotas were around 1.7, as in they could see the Ferrari, as in I could stretch my hand and get you.
Yeah.
But the Toyotas they weren't just quick enough, to be honest, because each time they were creeping into the Ferrari,
Yeah.
the Ferrari would just, like, every lap it would add like a second on top, close to a second. And by the time both cars were getting to the end, I think Toyota just threw in the towel and they're like, hey, we can't get these guys. Because both of them, they were on the same pit strategy, if I may call it that way.
Okay.
So in Le Mans, okay, in Formula 1, you pit, you change your tires, maybe you change your front wing or damage, whatever. In Le Mans, you can pit, change your tires and refuel.
Yeah.
So the fueling bit dictates the strategy that you'll be on. Now, if just like in Formula 1, if both of you are pitting at the same time and changing tires at the same time,
Yeah.
you unless the car behind has greater pace, that's the only you can overtake the person in front.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it was the same thing that happened between the Ferraris and the Toyotas. And yeah, it was just a proper weekend for the Ferraris. And yeah, and also during testing, when Ferrari were testing this Ferrari 499 Pika, they're actually quickest at the start of the year. So it wasn't really a surprise to me that Ferrari
Who is
would
leading the
come out.
championship?
Still Toyota.
Toyota.
Yeah.
Okay. And where is Cadillac?
I think Cadillac is P3,
Ah,
the
nice.
constructors, yeah.
Okay. One more. The
Either P3 or P4, because Cadillac is battling with Porsche at the moment.
one the windscreen. Some people preferred to peel off and others to wash.
Yeah.
I found it. You know the helmet.
Yeah.
The tear off.
Yeah, I actually saw there's a tear off on the windscreen, and others there was a spray when I come on a spray and then they wash. I found it like very interesting.
Well, I mean, remembering the conditions in Le Mans, have what's the circuit name? It's Havre something. It's a French name, yeah.
Yeah.
So there is that sometimes. There is things like that. So it's necessary.
Hey, it was crazy.
It's necessary.
that race-
But hey, look,
this is
listen, I am hands down impressed. I'm a hands up impressed. This one deserves a handshake. Congratulations. Congratulations. I'm actually impressed. And that's a segment in itself. We'll actually cut this bit out to like a review of Le Mans. You've explained everything to us.
In its own segment.
In its own segment. And I did 40 minutes and I thought I was the man. You did a whole 18 hours.
Hey, bro, there was a lot going on. Kwanza usiku, at night.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
18 hours is a lot.
At night, guys were crashing.
I did see one crash though involving a Porsche and what car was it? I did see that crash and it didn't look that nasty. It looked like a crash, but a crash is a crash either way because I think the suspension kulikuwa na shida and one of the tires was off. And I was like, oh, okay. There's some, because like, you know me, I enjoy seeing, and I don't enjoy seeing crashes, really. I enjoy the action. But I found that part and I really didn't know about the crash that Toyota involved in. I didn't know about that, but that's interesting. Looking at the WEC championship, Toyota leading. Do you think Ferrari will catch up?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Because Toyota have been dominating that championship since 2018, if memory serves me right. They've been winning. So this is Ferrari's first year.
Back after 50 years.
After 50 years, yeah. And they won the jewel of the crown.
Yeah.
The Le Mans.
And Le Mans is bigger than Monaco. Okay, in terms of Formula One, where we say like Monaco is the
crown jewel of Formula One. Yeah.
But when I compared the Le Mans in WEC, Le Mans is...
It's crazy.
I mean, Le Mans, look, listen, the heritage, the history, you know, everything here is all about the history and the memories that are created during that race. They did have a movie featuring Le Mans.
Ford versus
Ferrari. Yeah, so Le Mans is a big deal.
That's why I'm interested in Cadillac.
And I know while Ferrari were away, Porsche came into the scene and became kings of endurance racing. Porsche are kings of the endurance category.
Yeah.
And
as in, it's at the end of the day, we are all motorsports fans. So.
Speaking of motorsports, do you think you'll go to the rally event next week? The rally event thing. Wewe umesema ni motorsports fan. So the people want to know.
Sasa
the people.
Hii sasa nitatupia mushiri.
The people want to know.
Nitatupia mushiri. So early this year I was like, hey guys, I think we should go watch this thing this year. Because I started dipping my feet into rallying this year. Courtesy of Mushiri.
Yeah. The rally guru.
It's an interesting sport. It's actually it's the only sport whereby I think for people like us living here in Kenya can watch a car and say I would want to buy a car like that because where it's going, what it's doing is almost the same as where I come
Are you trying to say we can't buy Formula One cars?
Who can?
Well, I mean, they're pretty damn expensive.
One of the requirements of WRC, you have to have a car that is already in production in the race.
Yeah.
And then it's going, we have gravel, we have tarmac.
Yeah.
And we, of course, there's a race. Yeah. And those cars are the race in all those areas. So if that is a race whereby as a Kenyan watching, you can see a car performing well and say, I want to buy that car because what I see it doing is what is my kind of road.
Yeah. Well, interesting. So are you going to watch?
Me, if Mushiri says yes, I'm tagging along. And I'm bringing music.
I think we should talk more about it after this.
You guys are...
Sounds like a plan.
I'm planning to go.
You?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can. So kuja.
No. I'm already planning to go. Like I'm already in the process.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But we also need to find a way to watch F1 while there.
Yeah, that's gonna be tricky.
Yeah, that's we need.
That's gonna be tricky. No, is it the same weekend?
Yes.
22nd.
And WRC, you watch now. You watch it from Friday but during the day, Friday to Sunday.
No, I won't go on Friday. No, it's on the weekend of. No, it's not. There's no Formula on that weekend. There's no F1 that weekend.
There's no F1.
Yeah, because after Canada, there's a break and then.
Oh, the triple header actually spoiled you.
Wait. When is rally? Not this weekend.
I think it's the end. Is it
next weekend?
The end of
Not the coming weekend. The other weekend.
Next weekend, yeah. Just next after this one, next.
Okay. When you say tell me next, I understand it as like the next one.
After this one, next.
Okay. Then I think we'll talk more about it.
Yeah. Well, I think we've done an hour plus today.
Predictions.
No. I'm not about to sign off. I'm not about to sign off. I'm just saying I think we've done an hour plus today. That's interesting. So that brings us straight to expectations for Canada. What do you expect in what's the circuit name?
Gilles Villeneuve.
Yeah,
It's a man-made island.
that shows you Canadians. You have to be respectful and bougie.
No, I think they were dumping something there, in construction of something.
It's a dumping site.
It's called
No, it's
Gilles
like
Villeneuve.
Villeneuve.
if you are building, let's say a
Jacques
harbour,
Villeneuve. See those
Yeah, this is 4 kilometers. That's the circuit length.
it's a man-made island. It's I think there was a construction somewhere. They decided to dump it somewhere, formed an island, formed a park, then it became
that's dope.
yeah,
So, yeah,
Lance Stroll home race.
Canada. What do you expect? What do you expect? Expectations for Canada. Do you expect to see Seb 2019 situation whereby he's winning the race, given a penalty, comes in second?
So who is
goes-
replacing Seb? Alonso.
Yeah,
Definitely not Hamilton.
Alonso and Max. No, I don't think Alonso will do that to Max.
Who is going to take the P? What did he took
The P2, he
P2
took it to
ball.
Lewis's car,
Yeah.
and the P1 brought it to his car.
Who can do that now?
Alonso, but who is he doing it to?
See whoever is in P1.
I don't think he's doing that to Max. I think Alonso likes Max.
No, Alonso can't do that.
Yeah, Alonso can do that. But
Max can do that.
No, Max can't do that.
Don't you think?
who can do that in this grid?
I don't know. That's why we miss Seb.
I would want
Hopefully
I would want
2026.
Yuki to do it.
Hopefully,
It would be a highlight of-
hopefully 2026 Seb and the German manufacturer.
I don't think Seb is coming back.
Nah, let me keep my
So
hopes
as a
up.
I'm
driver?
sorry, bro.
as a driver.
Yeah,
No, I don't think so.
there's a possibility.
He's done. Hey,
As a driver now.
he was done with Formula 1, but you could just see it in his face.
So as for the prediction, I don't like making prediction without the practice. But as the news that you said, I tend to believe it about Aston Martin. And for the Ferrari, I'll give them a bit, Nini, because there are no high-speed corners. So I'll give them there. So, but Red Bull will still be there up ahead. But waiting to see Mercedes and Aston Martin.
You?
Aston will come out swinging, not just because of the updates, but this is the kind of track that suits the car and its characteristics.
Which accelerating out of corners.
Yeah, slow to medium corners. So I think Aston will come out swinging. Of course, when I say Aston, I'm referring more to Alonso.
Yeah.
But Stroll probably might also come out
I
swinging.
mean, he had a
'cause
good showing in
it's-
Barcelona, so you know.
and it's his home GP. So of course all the Canadians are rooting for him. So maybe, and he has a good car, so why not? But I predict my predictions, even without the quali and practice, Red Bull still on top. My man Checo man, you have to come out swinging, man.
Checo, if you're watching this,
Checo, you have to come out swinging, man. We can't tolerate P3s, P4s. You have to come out swinging, P2s. There's that Max can't get a P1 or he has a DNF. Checo, you have to be winning that race.
You have to be doing
Checo-
it once.
Checo better crash. No, not with anybody. He better crash maybe with Hamilton or Alonso. You don't crash with any other.
He shouldn't be crashing with Bottas.
Or don't crash by
he
himself.
shouldn't-
he shouldn't
Not
be
crash
crashing
by
with
himself.
Bottas.
Taking someone out, someone who's battling.
Yes. Don't crash by himself or go out. If you choose to crash with Hamilton or Alonso. Any other person is just a loss.
Yeah. So Red Bull on top. Aston will go back to their usual second. I have that gut feeling. I have zero logic behind this part. If Alonso says we'll come back swinging, hey, he'll come back swinging. Mercedes, Ferrari, I'm not so sure, but I think Mercedes will come on top of Ferrari.
Yeah.
Pole is.
Nice, okay.
But I see that happening. But for me, the team that I'd really like to watch is McLaren, and to see how they're going to perform, not just at Canada, but also the next few GPs coming. Because the ambition is by 2025, they should be fighting for championships /wins. So they need to start that marathon early. Not 2024.
They need to
But the
be
tail end of-
howling impressive points.
Yeah.
But okay, looking at how they did in qualifying, Norris did well. In fact, the McLarens did well, and they were strong on. They had high downforce. They were slow on straights, like the top speed was low, but the corners, in the high speed corners, they were actually the fastest. So for Canada, maybe they might not show it off, or maybe they might change something. But I think Lanso might have had a better race were it not for the crash. So I'm really curious to see what McLaren will do. But I'm very sure they have improved. We saw it in Barcelona.
Well, personally, I think it's a given. We will see Red Bull on top. We'll see Aston recover from their mishappenings in Barcelona. And, for Mercedes, I just have a feeling they're back. So we'll see something pretty tight up front between Mercedes and Aston. I really want Mercedes to perform so that they can keep the pressure up top. We need to see pressure up top. We don't want to see a situation whereby Red Bull are dominating the sport.
Actually, Max said, hey, it's lonely there at the front.
Yeah.
Oh wow!
He wants to have
So,
an interesting race. People fighting him.
And the guys who, the best suited guys to deliver the fight are guys who have actually been in the fight for a while. So Ferrari haven't been in the championship fight in a minute. So last year was a fluke year, but they had been eyeing it for a minute. It was a fluke year, but Mercedes, I know the hunger is there because
That's called
they're recent.
acceptance.
But what have Ferrari done since last year, by the way?
Nah, come on, bro.
That's called acceptance.
Nah, it's okay. I'm not really asked about it. Not tripping. I'm good. WEC things are going just okay.
Hey, bro,
So-
if Ferrari wins a race this year, I don't think we'll ever.
Wow.
Ace will never keep quiet about it.
I bought a cigar specifically for that occasion. I
We'll never
have
hear the
one
end of
stashed
it.
somewhere. I'll personally I'll record that win. Sijui champagne bottle. Sijui I will know your time ikifika. I will know.
You better pray for a couple of Red Bull DNFs for that to happen.
Bro,
Hey,
I don't even know.
you just need a lot of crashes in front.
But anyway, man, it's been lit. It's been good. It's been great. You guys will clown me all you want. It's been great. The ride has been fun. Oh, the show today has been fun as usual.
Yep.
And I appreciate you guys coming. I appreciate your insight on Le Mans.
Thank you, sir.
The 18 hours thing is no joke.
Yeah.
Yeah, hey, what
We should do a 24-hour next year.
yeah, we got 24 hours. Haikuwa 18
In your Le Mans.
in Le Mans.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, sir. So, it's about time we sign off. We'll talk about the rally plans after this.
Yeah.
Tutajuaniaje, and then anything else we will talk about. Anyway, guys, it's been late. That's been us. We hope you enjoyed the conversation. Please like, share, subscribe. Follow us on our socials. We have at the Pitboard Instagram. We are now on Twitter at the Pitboard. And obviously kuna pia WhatsApp group na hapo ndio we share all the details. Tena zinaenda kwa socials hizo zingine. So, go show some love. Peace.